What could I do? What could I do? I wanted to have Kerbals and pods up here in orbit. Huh. The Kerbals is definitely is. They got off for snacks and I left without them. Somebody did. I didn't check that. I didn't see that. I did not see that. You could always land and jump back to the ship with a Kerbal and just land. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I have Dilden. Is that the guy's name? Dilden. I have Dilden Kerbal in the double canoe. That's probably not appropriate. Let me see. Are these guys all fueled up? No, they're not fueled up. All right. We were apparently pulling fuel out of them because we didn't disable the docking ports. That's another thing I wish was a tweakable. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this guy. He's got half of his fuel. That's weird. Oh, I know why. Because that's what we did, right? I'm going to go ahead and fuel up that lander right there. Like this. And then I am going to pop Dilden into the lander, and we're going to go and we're going to do a landing, and we're going to talk about a landing. Let me see if he's got his emergency reserve fuel. 14.55, okay. Wow, alright, he doesn't have that either. Well, that's because I clicked on monoprop. Ah, those tanks were turned off, so he does have his emergency reserve fuel. Excellent. Alright, Dilden. EVA for you. Get out of the back hatch here. This is so annoying that we don't have more Kerbals. That gets on my nerves. It really does. You know, it's like I put them in, and then I didn't check it. And I didn't check chat. Apparently somebody noticed it, and I didn't check chat. Get in that lander. That lander there is already all tanked up and good to go, isn't it? Yes, it is. F5 for safety. Now that we're here, we're going to F5 for safety. And let's go ahead and see if this lander will even come out of the bay. Who knows? Decouple node. Ooh, it definitely looks a little stuck. Not going to lie. So let's see if we can get it out of there. I don't know if it's going to get out. I'm actually rotating the ship. Earth, get out! I'm rotating the entire vessel. Well, that's why we designed two landers, isn't it? I wonder if I could, You know what I could do? I know what I could do. I'm just trying to rip it out first. See if there's not anything I can do to rip it out. This is apparently not a happy... It almost came out that time. Oh, look at it. I'm almost rocking it out. Rock it out. I know what I'm going to do. How are we doing on RCS? It is just stuck in there, isn't it? So here's what you can do. Here is what you can do. Be very careful when you do this. I'm going to F5 for safety right now. He's never going to go back in that pod anyways. Maybe if I put him in sideways, but he's definitely stuck. It may just be the solar panels that are clipped. It may just be the solar panels. If you time warp, it turns off physics. If you turn off physics, it turns off collisions. If you can actually have a ship that's moving like this, do not, while this ship is in the middle of the other ship, do not turn off time warp. You just have to wait for the ship to... This is like a last-minute emergency Cheezo McCheaterson move, right? It is absolutely a cheesy, cheaty move. But time warp allows two vessels. It turns off their collider meshes, right? It turns off physics. And it allows two vessels to clip through each other like this. However, if I turn off time warp, it will all of a sudden enable the physics. And when it enables the physics, everything will explode. This is so cheesy, McCheaterson. I'm not going to lie, this is completely cheesy. But whatever. After it's clear... What's up, Infinite Dice? How's it going? After it's clear like that, we can go out of time warp, and then we have a ship that's ready to go. So that is a completely, absolutely cheesy, cheaty, lame move to do. But if you're ever in an emergency situation, you can actually clip ships through each other like that. Let me see what chat has to say about that. Yep, Luis, you got it. KSA teaches you how to cheat. No, it's an emergency. It's an emergency maneuver. We actually, I don't know, we did the F5 again while they're out. Thank you. What we did is we had it out of phase a little bit, and we went out of phase with the rest of reality, and we were able to clip through it. If you've seen many movies that have done that. I was thinking of a Stargate SG-1 where the team was actually out of phase and couldn't interact with the real world. However, they could walk on the ground, which didn't make any sense to me, but they couldn't interact with the actual rest of the world. We phased through the rest of the ship. So cheesy. It is so cheesy. I don't need more RCS. I've got way too much RCS on this craft right now. In fact, I think I have emergency RCS. No, I don't. I've got way too much RCS on this craft right now. I don't need more RCS. There's the carrier. Let's take Dilden here down for a landing. Of course it's Dilding. Here's what we're going to do. I want to land. That's a night landing. Let's not start with a night landing, right? Ooh. It's time to do a completely easy landing. Here is the easiest way to practice landings. Guys, you don't have to do it this way. I know you're better. I know that a lot of people think that this isn't the right way to do it, but look. My orbital velocity, 151 meters per second. This is not the most efficient way to do a landing, but if you're completely new to landing, give it a try. It gives you the capability to learn some things while you do it. Right now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm pointing retrograde. What's going to happen if I point retrograde and burn? I am going to kill off all of my orbital velocity. Like that. I left a little bit in the opposite direction, honestly. That should be okay. I think, let me do this. Yeah, that'll be okay right there. Because I do need to go backwards a little bit. I'm now going backwards. I've left the double canoe. Minmus is so forgiving that I completely was able to reverse my orbit. I'm going down for a landing. But what I wanted to do, here's my landing. Look up here. I've got a new thing. This is my landing information, right? Thank you, Cybertech, by the way. I'm coming in for a landing, and all I'm doing is falling straight down. There are two parts to your landing. There is your horizontal speed, and there is your vertical speed. That is how quickly you are going across the surface of the planet horizontally, and how quickly you're approaching the planet vertically. The next most important thing is the altitude. You can see right now my vertical speed is negative 21 meters per second, and my altitude is going down. You can see it right here too. I am falling towards the planet. No, Vice Rosewater, don't point at the moon and fire. Fire retrograde. This is the easy landing way. If you are getting started with this is the easy landing way. So I've killed off all my velocity, and I'm falling basically straight down. You can see I have a little bit of horizontal speed, and I want that horizontal speed, right? Because I want to land on the flats. That's another reason Minmus is so awesome. I want to land on the Minmus flats there. I can't zoom in anymore, apparently. And that looks like what I'm going to do now. Minmus is actually going to rotate under me as well. But here's what I'm going to do. I want to set this up so that the green thing is pointing exactly down. There's two things I can do. I'm going to use RCS, so put RCS on your craft. Guys, we're doing very, very basic landing. I can turn on my RCS, and I can actually change. Watch my horizontal speed, right? When I burn in the proper direction, yeah, leave your mouse over it, DOS, way to go. When I burn in the proper direction, my horizontal speed will actually decrease. You see how that works? And I can actually get my horizontal speed down to 0. Do it while you're way up here. Horizontal speed, almost 0. It looks like we've got some meters per second going in a different direction as well. I'm in the millimeters per second now. That's going even more. There we go. I'm going half a meter per second. Now I'm going a third of a meter per second. I don't care about the RCS. I still have way too much. Look at that. 40 millimeters, 30 millimeters a second, 16. That's good enough. Now, DOS, time out. What's going on? You said you're falling straight down, but look at this. Why is that not at the top of the nav ball? That's the orbital velocity. If I go to surface, I clicked on that to go to surface. You can see from a surface perspective, I'm falling straight down. From an orbital perspective, that's how fast Minmus is rotating underneath me. But when I land, I want to be in surface mode, right? Like that. And I'm just falling down towards Minmus. I'm not even doing anything. All I did was kill all of my velocity. I got really, really bad at missing Minmus. And now I'm falling straight down. That is all I'm doing. So let's see what else we've got here. Let's see what else we've got. I'm just falling straight down. I've removed all. I'm down to 5 millimeters per second. That's like that much. That much right there. Metric system. Who has any time for that? The next thing I want to do. You know that I'm falling faster and faster. Another great thing about Minmus, why I want you to practice your landings here, is because there are the flats. The flats down below me, they're actually perfectly flat, and they're at datum altitude. They're at sea level, basically. So I've got 8,000 feet. See this right here? It matches with my terrain altitude. That's another great thing about Minmus. It doesn't always match up. If I go over to the mountains or something like that, it's not going to match up. I'll be closer to the terrain than I actually am than it actually reads. It may read 10,000 and I may be 3,000 off the deck. I don't want that. What I do want, what I absolutely do want, is to be over a flat. And there's lots of flats on Minmus. These big flat areas are where you want to practice your first landings. Now, I'm going straight down, right? Go ahead and activate the gear. I'm falling straight down at 100 meters per second. I've got really good acceleration. You see this thrust to weight 54? You see this acceleration 22.82? I've got really good thrust to weight on this craft. So what we are going to do is, I got really bad at missing Minmus. 1 Galen, dude, I appreciate that. I am just falling straight down towards Minmus. When I get within 2,500, I'm going to start killing my speed by burning. So let's start killing our speed. Look how fast we can kill our speed, right? While I kill the speed, I want to keep the X centered. If I burn straight at the X, it'll stay centered. But just keep on falling. You don't want to be approaching when you're going 100 meters per second. Just keep the speed low. Keep the speed low as you come down here. We're at 2,000. Next, I'm going to start slowing down again, and when I get down to 1,000 meters off the deck, I'm going to slow down to 20 meters a second. I'm making this up. Just don't go too fast. So there's 1,500 meters. Our altitude is now 1,300. Then it's 12. Then it's 11. Then it's 10. And I'm just going to start burning like this and get that down. I want it down under 20 now. MC Toxic Gamer, Infinite Dice, Pilot Cookie, all welcome. Now I'm at 13. Thank you for enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. I'm landing on Minmus. I'm talking through it. I want you to learn how to land. It's not that hard. We can't hit the deck at 18 meters a second, and it's just going to keep going. We're going down. So now, when I get down under 500, I'm going to start giving it a little bit of throttle so that my thrust to weight is over 1.0. It's going to be almost impossible to do this. But now we're at 400, and I'm slowing down. See, I'm slowing down. Can I see a shadow? There is my shadow. Also, try to find your shadow, because your shadow is going to be a lot of help. I'm not going to be able to burn it like that all the way down, am I? I've got so much thrust to weight on this craft. I'm not even going to need to be able to... Jeez, oh Pete, seriously? I'm going to need this speed to be under 6 meters per second when I touch down. So as I get closer, now I'm at 200. There we go, 1.46. I'm just dropping down. My speed is also dropping. 9 meters per second, 115 off the deck. 8 meters per second, 80 off the deck. 7 meters per second, 50 off the deck. 6 meters per second, 20 off the deck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the engines. Welcome to Minmus. That's all you have to do. It's not the most efficient landing. I wasted some Delta V. Who cares? Get the basics down so that you can do landings like that. And then you can go on to the more complicated, the more efficient, the come in sideways landing, the fly across the planet landing. You can do all that sort of stuff. There's nothing wrong with practicing the braces. I didn't even care. If you were streaming this, I would come and help you talk through it. I wouldn't come over there and be like, oh, you're such a KSP noob, you don't know how to play KSP. I would come over here and I would help you do this if you were streaming it. Because if you're new to the game and you're trying to get it figured out, it's a great thing to practice. What did I use? I had like 1,400 meters per second of Delta V. Now I used 200 meters per second to land like that. Not the most efficient thing, but we got a landing done. Let's do more. Let's do more landings. Land at 1 meters per second. Yoda fail. I'm trying to show that as long as you're under 6, you're fine. I broke the legs right there in the planet. We're fine. The Delta... What? The Delta V cops will have your hide. You know something? It doesn't even matter. It landed perfectly fine. We designed the lander so that it could withstand that, right? We landed at under 6 meters per second. I had a lot of follows come in. 20 Jack, Stranger Change, Elias Inky, Infinite Dice. Did I miss anybody? Helix Clockworks, Machine 88, T Chigster. How many of these came in? Brony 7800, Slapbone I haven't seen yet. Are you kidding me? That's a Minmus landing. You'll take 2 scoops of mint. Now EVA, return to ship and bring another lander. Luis, that would be showing off. We know we can do that. Could we do an EVA and could we return to the ship? Use NavHUD on EVA. Alright, I'll do it. What's up, Loudness? How's it going? What is the landing mod? This landing mod. 4 fried rice. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy, 4 fried rice. The mod is a configuration of Kerbal Engineer. I could totally get a Kerbal Engineer link into chat. The mod is Kerbal Engineer. I made a special. Yeah, I am. I'm going to be on till midnight for sure. I'm definitely going to be on. I will keep doing this as long as people keep asking me questions. If you want to learn how to do these landings, ask me questions. And I'll keep on streaming. I don't even care. I want y'all to play KSP. I want you to learn how to do these things. And I want mission reports to come back to my channel. I want you to come back and say, bring another lander and dock to the top of the landed craft while it's still landed. Okay. Okay, Soul Wager. If that's just you want, that would be showing off. I'll do that after this. Let me get some basic landings in. We could do a rendezvous back up to the mothership, right? We could totally do a rendezvous back up to the mothership. Yeah, you're really gone now. Sarian, you were leaving? Were you going to leave at some point? Dude, thank you, Sarian, for the link, by the way. That is definitely right there. How you fit the docking with the vehicles so they can get out of the dock easier. We've already built another one. We've already built another one that fixes that problems. It was Kerbal Engineer. It was a custom configuration. What you can do, you can actually go into Kerbal Engineer up here, and you can do a new custom section. You could design this landing to or whatever you want, and you can put in the information you need. So I've got altitude, terrain, vertical speed, horizontal speed, biome, and impact. I mean, I'm not even really worried about biome and impact. But I've got those things, and those are the important things for my landing. My altitude is apparently 253.5 centimeters. Anyways, let's go ahead and close that down. I'm not going to make another one. That is Kerbal Engineer. Download it. Love Cybertech. Sometimes he shows up in the channel. Here's what we're going to do. Seaskull, what are you not, you're not quite sure to do? Ask me questions. Nothing wrong with showing off. I'm doing Kerbal Academy right now. Dosh just went over it. What did I just go over? I'm going to do it again. I'll do it again. Do you have landing stuff? Yeah, he just posted the link to it. Checking my chat. You know I like to check my chat. I'm just going to drink here. Yeah, Steel Mage. I thought I added the crew, and then I must have gone back and done something else to the ship, which blew that stuff out, man. You know? With a bigger craft than I have now. K. McNeil, I could have landed it at 0.1 meters per second. I'm demonstrating that you don't have to do it perfectly. I'm glad you can do that. That's awesome. But as long as you're under 6. Heck, put arrow spikes on the bottom of the thing. You can land at 19, and you'll just boing, whatever. Minmus is so forgiving. So forgiving. What's the 4th icon on the lander? Is it a launch window planner? T-Rex Sumchi. Yes, the 4th icon up here. This here is definitely a launch window planner. The transfer window planner. Scroll my channel down. You can download it. We did an interplanetary transfer for the European stream earlier today. But that is definitely a transfer window planner. It's a lot like, it's built on the same equations or the same code, I think, actually, as Alex Moon's transfer window planner online. So here's what we're going to do. What's the most complex? Probably the Majesty class interplanetary cruisers. Those are pretty complex, and I really loved how they turned out. Let's do this. Let's go back up to the ship. I'm just going to leave this lander in orbit. Landing 2. I didn't want that. How do I get rid of it? Now I don't know how to get rid of it. There we go. I guess I just got to turn it off for now. I'm just going to take... Let's plant a flag. EVA. Whoa! Way to go! That's how... Dildren here apparently exits that. Let's land a flag, because we're going to land here again. Plant a flag. Dildren, for your excellence in landing. There's my flag. It looks like a K that way. That's actually pretty cool. Land here. Okay, let's land here. Dildren, for your success, you can definitely have some mint ice cream. Take a surface sample. Get back over here. Let's see if we can't do the jump to get on board the craft. Minmus has so low gravity. I'm gonna have to fly a little bit here. Seriously? I mean, seriously? Stop it! What are you doing? There. Get in the pod. Stop playing around. Dude, Game & Rex, Stranger Chain, T-Rex Somchai, all. I appreciate the follows. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We're doing landing drills on Minmus. I've designed some craft that you can use. I'm going to put them up for upload at the end of the stream. I'm going to do more and more landings on Minmus. Right now I've put down a beacon. A little bit harder, we can get into orbit. I don't need the science. We're not in science mode. Let's go back and let's rendezvous back with the main ship. I'm going to say that's the target. Set as target. We've got a nice daytime glow going on here. Let's let that ship come on around and let's go do a rendezvous. So I've set it as the target. What I need to do is let it come around until it's about half a planetary distance between us. It may be a little bit less of a slice for Minmus because I'm going to get up there really fast. But about half of a planetary slice. I don't really feel like that's close enough, so let's go a little bit more. Let's call it a third, maybe. Let's see how that works. I haven't actually done this lander before. See how there's a third of the planet, a third of the planet, and a third of the planet? That's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about planetary slice. Minmus, India. There is no Minmus, India. It all depends on where you're docked. Good question, though. Let's go rendezvous with that puppy. Take off. Turn east. Like this. Look at my engines. I'm at like 1% throttle, right? Let us wait for that guy to come up and burn at a 45-degree angle like this and see what sort of encounter we can get. Actually, we can just go up a lot more. I'm definitely accelerating way too much, and my inclination's off. Alright. See this? You see how my inclination? Actually, I probably should put this guy in a circular orbit, then rendezvous with a ship. That's what I'm going to do. Because I can actually put this guy in an equatorial orbit, then rendezvous the ship with it. I'm not even going to worry about this. Look at this. What is this Apple app? 17? Yeah, let's just go rendezvous the ship with it. Ah! Das! Don't do that right now. You don't need to do that right now. You know you can do it. Don't do it right now. I'm doing the rendezvous. I'm coming in way north because he's not in an equatorial orbit. I've also got my apoapse a little bit too high. So I'm using RCS to bring the apoapse back down. His altitude, 16.9. My apoapse there, 16.6. That's okay. Now I need to fix this, right? I need to actually burn anti-normal. I need to burn towards the south, which doesn't mean actually literally point at the South Pole. Basically just align yourself with the planet's axis, and we're going to, for right now, burn in a south direction. It's an easy way to understand it on the nav ball. So here is north right here, right? Right now I'm pointing straight north. What I actually need to do is point straight south like that. That is also anti-normal. It's angry triangle. The actual term for it is anti-normal. It means point 90 degrees down from your current path of travel in the orbit. But I just call it south or angry triangle. Because here's what I'm going to do. When I burn down like this, do you see how that moves me? It tilts me down. It deflects me down. That is deflecting me down right like that. That is what I want. Now I'm getting there way too soon. So what I actually need to do is burn towards the up a little bit. I don't want more prograde. I don't want more radial. I actually want to burn... Yeah, radial out actually is what I want. So I'm going to go radial out, and that should start bringing this down. See how that works? Bing! Right there. What does that encounter? 0.1 kilometers? I think we're going to be okay. That's a good question, Monev. What did question ask? What did Monev ask? Monev. Noxious looks. Where was Monev at? Where was the good question? Somebody just said that was a good question. Huh. Why am I missing this? Well, why we do this? Black Star King, yes. A probe core works fine. If you don't need to actually transport Kerbals anywhere. I don't want you to sound like a show up. Okay, we did that. A probe car is a good thing. It would be good to have probe cars on these ships. Not even kidding. It's a little harder. You can get into orbit. We could have jumped up. Where's Minmus, India? 235 viewers. That's awesome. Thank y'all for watching. Have the issue with bouncing off the ladder. It's just a low gravity. Simple math question. Noxus looks. Simple math. How would you calculate the minimum delta V required to land safely? Say 9 meters per second a touchdown. That's not a very safe landing, by the way. From a given orbit, there is bound to be some math. It's going to come down to exactly how efficiently you can fly it and exactly how... exactly where you want to land. But there would be an equation. I don't know it off the top of my head. Basically, you want to try and get into as low an orbit as you can and then just come to a stop. You don't want to give gravity very much time to act on you and accelerate you. That's the best way to do it. But, yes. McNeil, dude, how's it going? I'm glad you showed up. I told you yesterday I would do Minmus landing for you specifically because you said you never got the landing. So here we are. We're coming up to the ship. We're good to go. What? I didn't see Monev's question. Monev, did you ask something? Yes. Somebody just said that's a good question, Monev. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try to jump from a building. Yeah, but there's almost no for slow land. 2x the subway map. No, Ayo, that's a good rule of thumb. 2x the subway map. Okay. So it's not an equation, but it's a good rule of thumb. Have twice as much delta V as the subway map says. And what we're going to do... What did I say wrong? What am I completely missing here? Always look, it's on the back of your chair. It's the suicide burn equation. Yeah, that's the most efficient way to do it. You're at the moon trying to land on... Yeah, but it's the same. K. McNeil, it's the same principles. Come out here and practice landing and then go to the moon. Then go to the moon. That's why I did this. I said I was going to come out here to Minmus. Minmus is the most forgiving place to land. It's got flat areas that are at sea level. Don't try to go to the moon. Study the national moon so you feel like we get good landings. Cool, Game and Rex. That's a cool thing. I can do the next thing I do is actually going to be a little bit more like that landing, like the moon landing was. So let's see here. This is just taking us a while. Let's just time warp till we get here. It's coming up underneath us. And now all we need to do, the delta V's are so slow. The delta V's are so small. There it is, 1.5 kilometers. Go to target mode. Let's get this rendezvous done. I'm going to point like this. I'm going to bend my orbit towards it. Like that. Now I'm going straight towards it. And I know I do this. I go over rendezvous and docking in some of my Kerbal Space Academy sessions. There's the ship. And then we're just going to basically, slam on the brakes. Permission to buzz the tower, basically, right? So here we are. That was just a little bit of a fast rendezvous here. RCS. I need more RCS. I didn't need more RCS. What I'm going to do now... Hey, Stowe. There you go. What I'm going to do now is fly this ship from the dorsal side and get it landed. So now I know the dorsal side. I'm not going to tuck it back into the bay, but I'm actually going to go RCS up and over like that. Let's turn off that. We don't need that anymore. And I'm just going to put her right there on the docking port, right? The ship is so small, the docking's a breeze. We don't really need to worry about it. I could actually rotate it around. Maybe I should choose the other docking port too, right? But that's why I put these docking ports here. It's only going to take us a second. Screet, screet. Yeah, scrape! Way to go, Dildren. I guess nobody else is here to see you scraping against the ship like that. But you'll be okay. Come on. This ship is so tiny. It'll dock itself. Just get it close. Bing, there's a dock. Alright, Dildren, let's try the other lander. Now it looks like a sea craft of some sort. A bit of a sea craft. What am I doing tomorrow and what time? Smoke 'em. I'll decide tomorrow. I'll have to look at the schedule and see what I'm going to do. My re-entry panels are scratched. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I always just kind of make it up. Somebody asked about doing landings yesterday, so I decided to do some landings today. There we go. Let me get in. I actually need to get this out, right? I need to get this one out of the bay because when I go for the landing, I do not want this guy in the bay. Grab it. Board it. I know I can't rip myself out of there, but I'm just going to go ahead and dock it here, right? It's probably not the best way to do this. So, what can I do? I can decouple node. And then I can time warp. And then I'll just go ahead and warp through the ship, right? Remember how I did that? I totally cheesed it up. Those landers wouldn't come out of the docking bay. These landers are going to come out, I think. I'm not worried about those landers coming out. But this one here, I'm just basically allowing to clip through the ship. Whenever you enable time warp, if you're just getting here, whenever you enable time warp, you will actually turn off the physics and turn off the clipping. And when you do that, turning off the physics and the clipping, your ship can pass through another ship like that. If you've ever got a collision coming up, if there's nothing you can do about it and you don't want to lose your ships, cheese it up. I won't make fun of you. Cheese it up. Oh, I'm on that ship? Interesting. Go over to your other craft and time warp. And when you do that, time warping, you will actually phase right through the ship. Let's just get this dock done. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I want to get down to landings again. I'm just getting these things out of the bay. And the ship can land itself. The ship is actually going to land itself somewhere near Dildren. There we go. Up a little bit. And down that way. No way. That looks good. Nope. Alright. Find control. Whatever. I'm in a hurry. Can't! Too busy rocking. Oh, can't. Too busy docking. Actually, that works. Don't have time for find control. I'm too busy docking. See how that looks? Right there. Bing! There's a dock. It's actually going to look like a plane coming down. Dildren, get out. Let's do another landing, man. Let's do another landing. That is a little bit weird way that he's coming out of there. Yes. Oh, he is concerned about his orbital pirouette. Whatever, man. Get in a lander, shut up, and let's go. Grab it. Board it. This one here, is this the one he was in? Click on it. Yes, Dildren. All right, F5 for safety. Undock. Oh, decouple node, actually. Decouple node. That one is going to come right out, it looks like. Yes. So good to know. That one there will come out. I need to control it, actually. I need to RCS it, and I need to make sure I go in the correct direction. Poof. Like that. Poof. Ouch. Whatever. They're landing craft. I think what I actually want to do is design like a crash-proof landing craft for phone. We'll see how that works. That should be pretty cool. But now we need to land at the same place we landed last time. Let's do it again. Let us do it again. F5 for safety now that I'm free. Where's my flag? I'm not showing flags apparently. Now I'm showing flags. Alright, we want to land there. We want to land there. Blue, gray, and white. Blue, gray, and white, Trollsama. And it needs to have like a clear background so it can be put on things. But I do totally appreciate it. I'm going to do this landing. Then I'm going to catch questions again. A big ball of landing legs, right? I wanted to like make kind of a dome sort of shape, like a sphere out of structural pieces so you could just bounce it off the surface of the moon. That would be awesome. I need to go, and I need to land at that same place I landed last time. RCS can turn off. Wow. He doesn't have very much fuel. Did we not fill him up? Hey, we didn't fill him up. Good thing we checked that. Way to go, Dildren. Jeez, seriously? Let's go over there and let's fill him up right quick. He definitely needs this. That's my dorsal side. That makes it easy for me to control the craft. If you want to talk about rendezvous and docking, I do special sessions on rendezvous and docking. I can go like that and line it up. I can go like that to rotate. And I'm just going to dock her right there. I'm not going into too much of the docking and rendezvous right now because I do entire Kerbal Space Academy sessions. Follow me on Twitter. Join me for that. I don't even need that, I don't think. And let's just go get this dock done, right? These craft are the way to go. They're definitely the way to go. Could you build bigger, more awesome craft? Of course you could. There you go. Now we got docking. Now we can pump fuel through. Interestingly enough, we can totally pump fuel through there. We do need to fuel him up, right? Who is taking off? Soul Wager, man. Soul Wager, take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Das Vidania. What does that mean? I hope it's good. How's it going? That's Boot. Fueling up this craft. Going to take her down to Minmus and do some landing. Did I miss anybody else? Got the K. Okay, cool. If you have a question, say the word question or say my name. Say Das. How do I do this? Or question. Blah, 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 blah. That highlights it in chat, and that is definitely something that I can do. Let me see. Since I'm doing fueling, I'm going to catch a couple questions here. That's good. Let's fill up that other tank. Oh, I already did that one. Let's fill up this one. Alrighty. While that's filling, let me see if I've got any questions. Injury. Yeah, I think really the seal, the magnetic seal on the bottom of the docking clamp is probably scratched all to heck. I doubt it's going to get a very good a good lock. I doubt it's going to hold atmosphere. That's for sure. Dawson. If you went outside the normal mods that you use like engineer, redux, and transfer, oh man, I gotta stop that auto scroll stuff. What other mods would you recommend that's outside my utility? Kako, until you've got all the basics of the game down, I wouldn't recommend any other mods. I've seen a lot of people, and the mods are totally awesome, but if you install a bazillion mods and you never learn the basics, you kind of get like an ADD sort of thing. There's so many awesome parts and that sort of stuff, right? I would get the basics of the game down before I went beyond the informational mods, because there's tons of awesome part packs. There's tons of awesome interstellar science packs. I mean, there's so many cool freaking mods. but I would get the basics down, and then it's basically just pick and choose, whatever fancies you. I'm going to be starting to do some stuff with Carbonite. Actually allows you to mine resources and generate fuel. I've got some fuel transfer mods that I'm working on. I think I want to do some deadly reentry stuff. I'm going to be doing that in my career save in the next coming weeks, but I would get the basics down first. I don't have any other mods to recommend because I haven't actually done anything yet. Looks like R2-D2 sitting on my ship. Nice. What about a Duna mission? I do Duna missions. Can I do scanning planets? I think you're talking about scanning planets with ScanSat. I could do that. Maybe what I need to do is actually get that in my career save so we can talk about some of that stuff. That's cheating. I know, PGI Molly. I told you it was cheating. 3 favorite colors. I got that one. That's that. How's it going, Dots Boot? Can I explain fuel? That's a really involved, complicated description, Snoodle. And I will definitely do it. In fact, I should probably do a Kerbal Space Academy special session on fuel flow and routing because it's very complicated, right? I don't think I can really get into it here. It basically tries to go to the farthest away fuel that can get and start pulling from there for each engine. That's like the long and short of it, but I can't do a complete explanation of that now. I will do one in the future. I will do one in the future. What am I going to do with the mini ships once you go back to Kerbin? PJ, I'm going to leave this on station here at Minmus. I'm going to leave it on station so we can practice docking here. Question, what mods should I use as a complete noob? My must-have mods. Scroll my channel down. Scroll down on my channel. Get my must-have mods. Those are the ones that you should definitely be using. John, 2802, and Dial-Up Hero. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. I'm Das Valdez. We're doing landing drills at Minmus. Answer some questions. Is good night. Oh, Das Vidanya. I got it. Das, you're going to have MKS in the career save. I don't know. I haven't decided. I don't want to make it so complicated, right? There are already tons of people who stream out awesome stuff using all the different mods, and I don't want to make my save so complicated that I can't still teach during it, right? I want to like highlight some mods and that sort of stuff, but I don't want to make it too complicated. I'm apparently burning RCS. F5 for safety. Let's take this down. I've answered some questions. I'm going to go ahead and F5 again. I'm going to undock. There we go. RCS SAS. I need to come in for a landing at the same landing site. There's the flag. How do we do that? It says land here on the flag. It's like land here and it's yelling at me. How do we do that? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set something over here somewhere. Add maneuver. And we're going to set a node that gets us over it. So you see right there? I don't want this. I don't want to actually be touching the flag. I want to actually fly over the flag like this. Because as I come down there, I'm going to kill more and more of my horizontal velocity, and I'm going to kind of curve myself down onto the flag. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set that node like that. We're going to time warp up to the node. 30 minutes. There's a mistake. I'm doing something wrong. I know I'm doing something wrong. Do you know what I'm doing wrong? Type it in chat if you know what I've done wrong. Or if you see what's going to happen wrong here. Type it in chat. Because there's a problem with what I'm doing. There's a problem with what I'm doing. And if you know what it is, type it in chat. Now is the time you have, because as soon as I get this node, I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to have to fix it. But you do have time. You may see what's going on here. If you see what's going on with the problem with planning a node 30 minutes in advance on a planet that actually rotates about its axis, what's the problem? The node stays in one place, the planet doesn't. Let's go ahead and turn that down. And now that I'm right here, what happened? Minmus rotates on its axis. I set the node to be over the flag, but then Minmus rotated out from under it. So I can actually move my node like that right there. I actually need a little bit more normal to it, looks like. So that is going to get me pretty close. That's not going to get me 100% there, but that's going to get me pretty close. I see the questions coming in. I will get to the questions after this landing. And now, what I need to do, I actually need to extend it a little bit more than that, like this. Because Minmus is going to keep on rotating, right? We're not going to stop Minmus from rotating. All systems check. F5 for safety. Monoprop, that's way too much. Throttle down. RCS off. Activate engine. Activate engine. Landing gear, check. Alright. Dilden Kerman, you're go for a landing here. Let's go ahead and get you done. Coming up in 2 minutes, about 3 minutes there. Let's point towards the node. Like that. And let us go ahead and zoom on down there. It's not going to be very much of a burn. I'm not going to worry about it. Kerbal Engineer, I summon you back such that I can see my landing information. Look at that vertical speed right now. Because we're in orbit, our vertical speed's not really going down. Because we're in a circular orbit, I should say. Changing on a vertical perspective. We're not going back and forward towards the planet. The reason I have a vertical speed is because of my difference in my periaps and apoaps. My altitude, don't worry about that. My horizontal speed, 137. We're going to get rid of some of that such that we cease to miss Minmus. And then we are going to go down there and have a party on the flag. So I'm just waiting for the node. I'm going to give it a final check. Let's look at the node. It looks okay. It looks okay. It's going to be coming up to night, so we're going to use those lights. I'll show you why we use the nights. Why we use the nights, why we use the lights. I'm just going to go ahead and start burning now just a little bit. We have buku thrust to weight because of the way these craft are designed. I'm going to burn this node. Whoa! Welcome to Kerbal Near Miss Academy. Maybe before you deorbit, you should look at that. Oh, buddy, I wonder how close to the double canoe we came. Somebody needs to pay attention. Watch now. Watch the screen. Oh my gosh. Look at it. Look at the screen. Ding, 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 ding. Whoa. One of the things on our checklist should be to make sure that we're not going to deorbit through the craft that brought us here. I was trying to give you some heads up. Beaten to street play. Always get clear of your carrier. Is it safe? I love that image, Spartan. Is it safe? Is it safe? I don't know. Is it? Good times, good times. Nobody got hurt too bad, though. Now what we need to do is fly this down. I'm just going to time warp. Remember, the planet's rotating out from under me. If you're in a retrograde orbit, remember it's going to rotate the opposite direction. I am not burning yet. I am just falling down towards that flag. Hello, Kerbin. How there? How are you? How are you doing? That's actually pretty cool. This lander does not look like it's landing in the proper direction. Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. Yes, that dorsal side, though. It looks like the lander's friggin' huge. That was awesome. I'm glad I didn't hit it. That would have been quite a highlight. I did think that I had F5 for safety. There is where we're going. Step 1, orient. Orient, orient, orient. My dorsal side is like this. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm flying into this thing. Check it. Look at it. Make sure that that thing right there is not moving side to side. You just want it to be moving straight towards the screen. Orient like this and get that thing. You can actually put it on your lander. Look, put it on that part. I don't even care. Put it on that part. See how it's going straight down? It's maybe moving to the side a little bit. If it's going to the side, correct that. You can totally do that. That looks okay. Next thing, get out of orbital mode. Go to surface mode. Turn off that RCS. And start pointing like this. I'm not burning yet. I'm going to get way the heck down there. I'm going to get way the heck down there. This is looking good, though. I'm passing right over it, right? It looks like I overshot it just a little bit, so I'm going to kill some more horizontal velocity. What's my horizontal? 75. Let's kill some more of it. Let's kill some more of it. Now that I'm this close, is the line going towards it? No, let's burn from here. That looks pretty good. Now I feel like I'm falling straight towards it, right? I just feel like it. See how I'm going to the side, though? Do you see how I'm moving to one side? Fix it with RCS on Minmus. The craft is so small, you can totally fix it with RCS. Just burn in that direction so that it starts going straight down again. That's looking good. Always orient. We don't need the RCS. How am I on fuel? 3-1. Yep, I'm good. And I'm just falling down straight towards it. Now, start pointing this way. You're going to have to break all this off at the last second. I'm 1.9, 1.8 kilometers. Here's what I want to do. Make a straight line. From there to there, I'm there. I need to burn a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to come straight down on it. Yep, it's coming up on me. I'm coming in at 67 meters per second surface, please. And then start to burn. Bing! Now we're falling straight down. And it's the same as before, but instead of killing our velocity way up there, I killed it right like that. Let's do it like this. Horizontal speed, 3.5 millimeters per second. Where is the flag? I may actually hit it. I don't want to do that. Now I'm just going to watch my altitude. Negative 25, 263. Start killing it. There's 100 meters. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. You wanted me to land soft? Okay. I could do that. I need to thrust limit these darned engines. I'm not really, I didn't really do it. I shouldn't have flared that soon. Hey, landing lights, you need to acquire the surface. There is the surface. Do you see it now? That's why we've got those landing lights on there. Am I even burning the engines at all? I think I am. -5. Alright, we're fine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that what you were looking for? You give me trouble. I've got to fight back somehow, right? I've got to fight back somehow. It's all I have is the fact that I'm on the camera. But that right there was another landing. Instead of completely killing our orbit, we actually came in at an angle. We aimed ourselves toward the craft. Remember how to orient. Get your dorsal side so you know which way you're going. That helps you press the right keys to go in the right direction. Dorsal side on the pod has the pod there, right? It's actually got the pod facing you. I'm looking at the dorsal side. I also put a battery there so I could see it. We are good to go though. Look at the space. Look at the craft going over. Abort! Abort! DOS is winning! Thank you for giving me seconds of your minty goodness. That DOS face. Alright, good job, DOS. I appreciate that. That was a nice soft landing. There was not a lot of G-forces involved. Let me do this. Hey, there was a follow that just came in. Actually, quite a few follows. Let me catch the follows, because I appreciate the follows. Prometheus Viper, Warcam 150, Dial-Up Hero, and A-Barrow 76. All four of you, thank you for enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. We are doing landing drills at Minmus. Landing drills at Minmus. Where's the flag even at? Oh, there's the flag. 20 meters away. Dang, I was going to try to land on top of it. I have a lot of fun doing this, guys. And I know I give you some problems, just because you give me problems too. That's why I do it. Oh, also, look at the nav ball, not the ship. You're correct, Adel. One of the reasons I keep talking about the dorsal side is because if you orient your craft such that the dorsal side is facing the camera like this, what is happening on the nav ball is also happening in the 3D world. If you get all turned sideways and that sort of stuff, your keys get all wacky. The number one reason people have trouble landing is because they turn sideways and they try to land at like a sideways vector. They're like, instead of turning normal when they hit W, they're actually rotating sideways instead of pitching up and down. Getting the normal side like this makes what's happening in the 3D screen match what's happening on the instruments. We could do the same thing just in the IVA, right? We could totally just go into IVA mode here. And we could do it just looking at this. We could do a landing drill just looking at this. Because it's got everything we need to do a landing. Maybe we should do that. I don't know. I've got one more craft up there.